If you have ever felt like you don't fit into this world, then maybe you are right. But this is not a weakness. It is a sign. A sign of a personality that Carl Jung described as extremely rare. Only about 2 to 3 people out of 100 possess it. And today, I will show you 8 psychological signs. If even 5 of them are present in you, then you might be one of those rare individuals. Understand this first. This is not an ordinary personality test. This comes from the essence of Carl Jung's 40 years of research, the psychologist who explored the deepest layers of human consciousness. And he discovered something fascinating. Some people are psychologically built differently. Their minds work differently. Their souls feel different things. And their journey in life becomes completely different from everyone else. So if you have always felt different, watch this video until the end. Because today, you might discover something about yourself that perhaps no one has ever told you before. I'm going to share 8 signs with you. With each sign, you will begin to understand why you are different, why your struggles have meaning, and what the true purpose of this unique personality might be. So, let's begin with the first sign, and this one is the most powerful. Sign 1. The first sign is that you possess an emotional depth that almost feels supernatural. Try to understand this. When you enter a room, you can instantly sense that something is wrong, even if nobody says anything, even if everything appears normal. You feel the unspoken tension. You sense emotional currents that others don't even notice. Carl Jung described this as affect-charged complexes. In simple words, your mind absorbs other people's emotions like a sponge absorbs water. But this ability comes with a cost. You feel other people's pain as if it were your own. You can see the lies in someone's eyes. You can sense the sadness behind someone's smile. And it can be exhausting because most people do not live at this depth. They stay on the surface, but you cannot. Jung believed that such individuals can touch the collective psyche, which means you are not only feeling your own emotions, you are feeling the emotional weight of humanity itself. That is why sometimes it feels like you are carrying the pain of the entire world. And this is not normal. It is rare. It is a gift that often feels like a burden, but in truth, it is one of your greatest strengths. Sign 2. The second sign is that you question reality with what can only be called sacred curiosity. When others accept things the way they are, you ask why. When people say, "That's just how things are," you wonder, could it be different? This is not rebellion. It is a search for deeper truth. Jung called this the active thinking process, and more importantly, the ability of transcendence. This means you can see beyond the present reality. You can imagine what things could become. You see possibilities where others only see limitations. And this is why you cannot easily follow traditional paths, because your mind keeps asking, is this authentic? Is this truly right for me? Is this the life I really want to live? Most people simply follow the rules created by society without questioning them. But you cannot do that. Your mind does not allow it. You need meaning in everything, truth in every decision. And if you cannot find that truth, you walk away from that path, no matter how safe it may seem. That is courage, rare courage. Sign 3. The third sign is that you have developed conscious independence. Jung called this individuation. Individuation means you have separated your self-worth from the opinions of others. You do not look outside for approval. You do not beg for validation, because you have already completed one of the most difficult journeys of all, the journey of meeting yourself. But this journey was not easy. Individuation is painful. It requires you to remove all the masks you once wore to please the world. It requires you to break the beliefs that were never truly yours. And most importantly, it forces you to face loneliness. Because when you become your true self, many people can no longer understand you. But you still chose authenticity over comfort. And now you stand in a place where you no longer need permission to be who you are. You no longer need approval for what you think. You have become psychologically free. And that freedom is one of the rarest achievements in life. Sign 4. The fourth sign is that you possess an extremely sensitive awareness. You do not see things as they are. You see them as they could become. You do not see people as they appear. You see what they hide. Jung connected this to active imagination and intuition. Your mind recognizes patterns. It reads subtle facial expressions. It senses shifts in emotional energy. And most of this happens unconsciously. You cannot always explain how you know something, but somehow you just know. When someone is lying, when someone is hiding something, when a relationship is beginning to break, you read psychological signals the way others read books. And sometimes this becomes overwhelming because you see things that others prefer to ignore. You sense problems before they happen. You feel the ending at the very beginning. And when you tell people about it, they say you are overthinking. But later, when it actually happens, you turn out to be right, almost every time. This is not a curse. It is an evolved awareness. Sign 5. The fifth sign is that you need meaning in everything, in every action, in every relationship. And if meaning is missing, you simply cannot continue, no matter how comfortable the situation may be. Jung said that such personalities are psychologically incapable of living a false life. Your mind refuses to allow it. If you move against your soul, your body begins to protest. Anxiety appears, depression appears, even physical symptoms can arise because your unconscious mind is trying to tell you something. This is wrong. This is not your path. That is why you leave jobs that exist only for money. You walk away from relationships that are merely convenient. You abandon lives that look perfect to everyone else because they are meaningless to you. People don't understand this. They say you are impractical, idealistic, disconnected from reality. But the truth is different. You are living in the real reality, the reality where the soul matters, where purpose matters, where truth matters, while many others live in a comfortable illusion. But you cannot stay in that illusion, and that too is a gift. Sign 6. The sixth and perhaps the most painful one. You have repeatedly left people and environments behind. Friends who were once close now feel distant. Family members who once understood you now feel disconnected. Places where you once belonged now feel suffocating. And this is not your fault. Jung described this as psychological death and rebirth. As you evolve, as you grow, as you discover deeper truths, you cannot remain the same person you once were. You shed layers of conditioning. You release false beliefs. You abandon old identities. And each time you do that, you are reborn into a new version of yourself. But the people who knew your old version often cannot accept the new one. They want you to remain the same because your growth makes them uncomfortable. So you are forced to leave. You leave people who don't understand growth. You leave places that limit you. You abandon identities that are no longer you. And this creates a unique loneliness. A loneliness where you may be surrounded by people, yet still feel completely alone. Because no one seems to understand your depth.
No one fully understands your journey. But listen carefully. This loneliness is not permanent, because once you become your authentic self, you begin to attract your true tribe. People who understand your depth, people who celebrate your growth, people who grow with you instead of holding you back. Sign 7. The seventh sign, and perhaps the most painful one. You have a transformative presence. When people are around you, they open up, they become vulnerable, they share their deepest emotions, things they have never told anyone else. And you often wonder, why me? Jung called this the psychological holding space. You have a rare ability. You can witness people deeply, without judging them, without trying to fix them, without making it about yourself. You